You want to sit there and be a live audience member? How are you really gonna do?
Leave it alone.
No, I don't know how to leave it alone. Do you know me? They're having a lot of moments lately where like I'm going to do something and then I forget what it was.
Nice.
Or like, yeah,
Just memory?
yeah,
Just bad memory?
just too many things going on at once, I guess.
Oh, shit.
And just,
Okay.
oh yeah, like my soup. Yep. See
You
that?
have soup.
Yeah, I think it's soup. Is it called a slurp because of the sound?
Most
or is it
likely.
called a slurp because of the action? And if it's called a slurp because of the action, is it possible to do a slurp without making the sound?
I lost you. I lost you.
I think it's the sound.
I would think it's the sound. It's not because of the action.
But burping doesn't sound like slurping is like when you slurp, it
What's the
sounds
sound
like
of
you're
the
making that slurp.
Slurp.
When you burp, it doesn't sound like burp.
Okay.
I like never know how I want to do this. Welcome to the Be More podcast. Are we putting a the before it, or is it just Be More podcast?
I haven't paid attention. You said the. I think it's just be more.
Welcome to Be More
That sounds weird.
podcast. No.
The. So then put.
Welcome to the Be More podcast.
You want to do that again?
I didn't
You
like it when it
Forget
came
it.
out. Welcome to the Be More podcast. I'm Brittany.
I'm Maria. And
And
what are we talking about today?
okay, so I was in the car,
Mm-hmm.
whatever day I texted you, I guess Wednesday, and
I can fact check you.
okay, solid. And I was trying to do this. I've been having, you know what I realized? I
Go
am
on.
literally the jumpiest storyteller ever on this freaking thing for some reason.
honestly.
This is because this is how my brain works. I start thinking of something and then I start thinking of 12 other things and I can't keep focus. Imagine
So-
what it's like in there.
Actually, it wasn't Wednesday. It was yesterday.
That's so sad.
AKA Friday.
That's extremely sad. I told you I've been.
I was
have
like,
no concept of time. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Like days are big blurs. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm in it. Let's start at the very beginning. So this time of year,
He is.
as like a contact person wearer,
Contact person wearer, correct, yeah.
like
Same.
experience like a lot of like dryness in my eyes and like annoying stuff with all the cold weather.
Mm-hmm.
And because of all of the amount of work that I do on my computer now, I do like, I'm starting to notice like that I get, I wrote it down, why am I not actually looking, why do I have it written down here? I start to get like those eye strains,
Yeah.
but I never knew like what to call them. Like I thought like I always had like a lot of eye, like I just have
Just
dry
like
eyes.
Dry eyes. Or
Yeah, and it's
whatever.
from wearing my contacts and like looking at computer
Yeah,
screens and
yeah.
stuff like that. So then I like,
It's from straining.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So when I finally was like, okay, like I was waking up in the morning and my eyes felt so dry and like just like a weird, I don't know how to describe the feeling.
It just hurts.
Yeah, like almost
Yeah.
like sandpapery.
Yeah, it literally just hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't wear my contacts at the moment.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. Because
You're
I'm
very
in
smart.
front of a computer screen all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta start doing that.
But you're like dancing and like moving and like.
Yeah, I also can't like go upside down in my glasses because they fall off immediately.
No.
So it's like, yeah.
I don't remember the last time I saw you in glasses.
I'll wear them one day. Because
What
now that
kind
I'm
of glasses do you have? I feel like it's just like.
glasses now. I don't know.
Because I all I get pictures like remember when you were younger, like you in those like dorky glasses.
When did I don't know what to associate to that because I feel like my glasses always looks funny because I'm blind. Okay, so that's what we're talking about vision today.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
haven't gotten into that,
Okay.
and we're gonna like transition that to a bigger picture,
For
but
something, yeah.
we're talking about vision today because
Mhm.
Maria and I both have like fun stuff in our eyeballs.
Sure, let's call it that.
Yeah, and I've already gone off track from the original story. Okay, let's start from the original story and then we'll talk about our vision. So,
I feel like we're so distracted today. Don't mind us.
we're both so tired that like
Yeah.
our brains can. I usually can't stay on a straight path, but today it's just like bounce,
It's just
bounce, bounce, bounce.
So it won't be as long
Bounce,
as
bounce,
last
bounce.
episode.
Okay, so I'm going back to my story.
Go on.
Alright, so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, alright, I'm experiencing all of this. What's
Yeah.
going on with my eyeballs?
Yeah.
So I did what every master cell phone owner does, and I looked it up on Google, and I was like, what am I dealing with my eyeballs? And I got like a term for it called like eye strains, and it could be like the way that it could be defined is like having dry and tired eyes, and it could potentially lead to like headaches and blurry vision.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was just me,
Really?
like
You
because I,
thought
have
it wasn't
I
normal?
have astigmatism.
What? Oh, okay.
So I also just found out that part of astigmatism means like having blurred vision at night when you see lights.
Can we define that? Because I actually have no idea what that means.
So my eye lens is a mess, if I understand it correctly. It's not shaped correctly.
Is that what it is? The
Yeah.
eye lens
Yeah,
shape?
the lens of my eye is like misshapen.
Gotcha.
I mean, honestly, I probably should know more about it than I do, but all I
You
know
just
is
got
that
diagnosed and you're like,
yeah, which is like we all unfortunately do with
Yeah.
doctors, which is gonna be a whole nother episode.
Mhm.
So, which goes back to like other things about related to eyes, but I was like, okay, so what do I do for the dry eye things? And I found this little exercise that you can do where you have to like, you have to help relax the lens in your eye.
Okay.
And to do that, I wrote this down because I can't
Your eye
remember.
muscle,
But no, you have so many muscles attached to your eye.
and that's what strains too. That makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
I actually don't. I don't think your eye is defined technically as a muscle. I think it's just like
Your eyeball isn't a muscle. Like, what is it?
it's
Google.
It's tissue.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it's.
But it's the muscles.
You have all the muscles around it.
that are strained.
Yeah, because your eyeball itself, like aside from having everything, like it doesn't actually. Your eyeball doesn't move itself. The muscles around it move it.
Right. No.
Just like the way like your bones don't move, your muscles move them.
That'd be weird if they moved.
You know how many kids I work with who have no concept of that?
That-
And adults that I
What
work
do you
with.
mean?
Never mind. We'll go, when we have.
Like, they think their bones move.
Like when you ask people
I'm like,
what,
look at my hand, like my bones.
what makes your body move, people will say their bones.
I don't think that's right.
It's not right, dude. I know it's not right. I teach this. I'm studying this. It's not right.
Okay.
Your muscles move your bones. Anyway, okay, we're going so off track. This is exactly
Sorry,
what
I
we're
went
talking
to
about.
like a
It's
bio
cool.
class.
We're gonna have a whole. We can talk about the body. If you guys are interested in your bodies, I'm about it.
Sure.
But
Stigmatism.
okay, yeah, right. That was what I was talking about. Astigmatism. Okay, so I thought for the longest time I had like that misinformation. So I was like, all right, I have to start doing something in like the exercise. So I started doing this exercise while I was in the car, and apparently, what happens when you get like dry eyes and your eyes get strained is the lens in your eye starts to flatten.
Really?
Yeah. So because it's like you're fatiguing, so like the best way to help it, especially when you're like staring at things close to you.
Yeah.
So the best way to help it, like to relax the area around your eye, is to focus on something really, really far away from you for a while. Which is why they tell people apparently in like offices who work in offices who are looking at screens often to stare out a window and like focus on the furthest point
Really?
away from you
I didn't
to
know
help
that.
like relax your eyeballs. So I was doing this in the car,
Interesting.
and it did. It totally helped, but I like have to do it a little bit more. But I also get like really motion sickness too if I stare at the screen for too long. So there's like a lot of things that go on.
A lot.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
A lot.
I have a very sensitive system. But, okay, so now let's backtrack, I guess, a little bit. So I have been wearing,
Contacts.
yeah,
Should we say how long we've been like not blind? But, like,
well, what's
wearer.
what's your, this question is amazing, I can't believe. What's your prescription?
Oh, like for both lenses
Yeah.
or whatever? That's a cat.
That's pieces you can pet him. He's just in the corner.
They're both negative. I think I'm up to -5.5.
Oh, you're, yep.
You too?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're 3 points away from being legally blind.
That's cute.
Yeah, did you know that?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow. that's
Negative
great.
8 is legally blind.
-8. I know someone that has like -8 or something.
Nope.
No, that's not true then.
Huh? No, it is.
I was gonna say
How do they see?
they don't.
Right.
Well, without their glasses.
right. Well, yeah. I've heard that. My
I would say they
favorite,
don't.
my favorite experiment is when other people wear my glasses.
Oh, me too. I'm like
so they
here.
know what it's like.
Here, I'm like here, literally, because when you look at my lenses, you know how like.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm impressed that you have like lenses that you do, like the frames that you do, because I cannot. Like I have to get a very. That's why
That's
I
what
always
I'm
have
saying, yeah.
ridiculous glasses
Yeah.
because I can't handle my lenses. Cannot handle. Like I have to be in a thick
know.
frame.
It's great.
It's fun life. Okay, so wait.
How long have you had glasses?
I think I got them.
I know the moment like I needed glasses.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, tell me.
But you first. I
I
asked you a
don't-
question first. I'm also
I
chewing on this.
feel
lollipop,
like-
so.
I feel like I was in like the 4th grade when I got my glasses,
Okay.
and I remember having all those feels about being in glasses, and I was so mad about it, and I didn't want to wear them. And I think I really only had to. I think the issue was I only had to wear them for reading. And then I don't remember knowing that until like someone told me way later, and I wore them like way too much. And then like then that was it. And then I think I started wearing contacts in the 6th grade.
Okay.
And then not many years after that, I started having a lot of sinus problems. Do you have sinus problems?
Not really. No, not really.
So like I have like my sinus is my weakness.
Okay.
Like whenever I get sick, I always end up with a sinus infection. And I found out that like my eye doctor like super randomly one time, I was telling him that I was having issues with my sinuses, and he was like, oh well, that's normal because after a long time your lens solution can wear away your sinuses.
No way. Are you serious?
And
Why does no one know this?
I was like, I must have been like.
Wait, what do you mean? Are you serious?
Yeah, and like when I remember him saying this to me, and I feel like my mom was in there with me, so I must have been like. Like in high school, like I had been wearing them for at least a little bit of while. Look it up because I remember being told this so clearly, and I was like, "What the actual F?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's why it's important to." I don't remember what his recommendation was for like afterwards, but I remember him saying that, and I was like, "What the frick?"
Interesting.
Anything coming up about it? Like contact solutions, like wearing.
I literally put contact solution sinus infection, and give me nothing of.
Maybe he was just lying.
Maybe he was just making you feel like
feeling like it wasn't my fault. Like I wasn't born with sinus issues. I don't know, whatever. But I never forget that moment because I was like, "What the actual F?" And I don't know where I was going with this. Okay, so yeah, contacts since.
Wow, we're so.
Glasses. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So glasses in the 4th grade. Contacts in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Living the good life ever since.
We have very similar. I'm like a year off.
Oh really?
Ish. Yeah. It was like the 5th grade. I got called on in class. And I sat like towards the back, but not like.
I remember this story.
Were you in my class 5th grade?
Okay, first of all, you expect me.
I was like,
you're asking way too much of my life.
No, I was like, were you there?
No, but you've told me this story before.
Yeah, because this is when, and like, I guess you don't really pay attention until someone points it out to you, but like in essence, I was in 5th grade, I got called on to read something on the board, and I was like, I can't see. I was like, this is embarrassing, I cannot see. And like, I don't know if I noticed it, like, deteriorating beforehand. I literally have no idea. Because at one point I was like, I can't see the board.
It's like a norm until you're like, wait a minute.
And so until someone's like,
maybe this shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah.
So what are you, nearsighted, farsighted?
I can't see far. So then nearsighted? I always get so confused. So, yeah, so then I got glasses, and then I played basketball in middle school, so then I got contact lenses in 7th grade.
I remember that time too.
Yeah. Fun times. So ever since what? So 4th grade, 5th grade. I don't know what it's like to, like, not need glasses or contacts. Like, how do people have 20/20 vision? Like, that's crazy to me.
It must be so nice. I always say this, like,
Cause like,
I want to know what
Yeah.
it's like to wake up in the morning
I just, like, see.
and just see.
Would you get LASIK?
Don't.
Because one of my friends recently got LASIK, and she said it was 5 minutes in each eye, and that was it.
That's awesome. Does she have astigmatism?
I don't know.
Because my cousin got it.
Yeah.
And she has astigmatism, but it like reversed after a couple of years. And like I had
It can reverse. That's a whole thing too.
And I don't. Well, that was a while ago, so maybe not anymore. But
Yeah.
I have another friend who got it. Who also has a lot of issues, and she's been doing like great with it. I know she had some complications during, but like it took a while for the healing process and stuff. But I definitely would, and I definitely want to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like not right.
It would
right
be
this second.
beneficial to you, because you dance and all that.
It would totally be.
You know, it's one less thing you have to worry
I
about.
also like don't want to pay for it, so.
But I
There's
hear
that.
the Sorry. Well, this is your fault for eating soup of all things.
It's one of those days. It's like
It's actually really cold
it's like
out.
0 degrees outside and
I know.
which is making like negative something.
Honestly, like, and today's one of like the coldest days we've had in a while.
Which is why I have dry eye.
Dry one eye. Say dry eye. This is great.
The soup is gonna end up all over my arm. Oh man, I'm so glad. You know that feeling when you're, and it's not even like I need to drink the rest of it. It's just like, you know that feeling when you get to the bottom of something, you're like, I just gotta.
Yeah, no, you have to finish it.
Finish it.
Absolutely. We're like peaking
I
the
also
audio.
like have been like a really well trained Italian child, and I don't know how to leave food on my plate. You know this. You've seen me eat. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm also Filipino.
Yeah, this is true. That's very, yep.
So, like, I get it.
Yeah.
What were you saying? LASIK?
LASIK, yeah. Okay. So I also know that there are a lot of,
Other solutions?
yeah, there are a lot of, like, options for payment for LASIK, and that's great. Like, I want to do it, but, like, I'm not going to spend the money on it now. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm in a spot where I should be spending money on something like that.
Right. And also, I think once you get LASIK, like, it outweighs you buying contacts and contact solutions. Like, at some point, like, it's better. Like,
I'm sure it probably does.
Yeah.
I'll get there.
It's expensive.
I'll get there. Yeah, and also,
Glasses,
like, I don't, so I have to pay for all my own insurance.
I know. America, man.
So, like,
crazy.
yeah, like, because I'm not, I mean, if I was teaching full time, it probably would.
Like, if you had, like, a 9 to 5, yeah.
But
absolutely.
I would never have a 9 to 5.
No.
I'd have a teaching job. Like, if I was going to do anything that was a 9 to 5, it would be a teaching job.
And which isn't really 9 to 5, it's like...
Right, and
9 to infinity.
The situation that goes on with health insurance for teachers right now, this is the weirdest freaking conversation we're having.
Mm-hmm.
The health insurance that goes on for teachers right now is a lot of the times, like, they actually are spending a lot out of pocket. Because it's not getting, like, they're not getting too much support.
Yeah.
Or at least not what they used to get.
Right.
So they're paying a lot for insurance, and it probably would honestly, which is kind of terrifying, would be probably the same that I pay right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so we were talking about dry eye. If you are somebody who experiences eye strains, try out that little exercise and let us know.
So if I'm staring at my computer screen, because now I work like 12-hour days.
Yeah, accounting.
It's only during these 4 months. Which is a lot of the time, like during the year. 4 months, like that's crazy. Do I? Go on.
We're getting totally out of topic.
That's
so
fine.
never mind. Maybe we'll wait till next time.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, what were you saying? So if
I'm literally staring at my screen, all I have to do is, for a few minutes, just look out a window or something.
Yeah, and then
it'll
apparently the best, like, the inside light isn't the best, so if you, like, allow, like, sunlight,
like actual natural light.
like natural light, and, like, you look at a distance.
Yeah.
So the other day I was doing it like going down like a major highway that had stoplights on it, so I was able to look at like the stoplights,
Gotcha.
the further stoplights that I could see,
Gotcha.
and it helped. My eyes felt a little like
Interesting.
I've never really done it. I've never gotten a headache during the day from it. I feel like, but I feel like when I get to a certain point at night where I'm like, okay, now my head hurts. You know,
Those are
it
the
all
worst,
builds
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that was what I was doing. I was thinking about eyes, and we wanted to talk about eyes because you're like, there's a lot of
vital
you need
organ.
them. Have you seen the I remember when I saw this commercial. Did you see the marketing commercial with the rebranding and how you like appropriately do marketing? That had like the blind man on it. I think it was on the internet for a really long time. That's probably how I saw it.
No idea.
But
what
it was.
Is it old?
Not really. It's not really. This isn't really about vision, but there was a blind man who was sitting with like a canister for change, and he had a poster board that said like, "Please help me, I'm blind."
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's really like something for marketing. So if you're a marketing person who's like heard about this, and like a woman comes over and like says hello to him, and doesn't say like, well, he's not deaf. So.
Oh my god! Wait.
The funniest part is that my brain couldn't filter it before it came out of my mouth to realize that it was wrong, but it filtered it afterwards.
Honestly.
And checked it afterwards, which is like
True.
you're my own worst enemy. Okay.
Anywho.
So
Don't mind.
she
this isn't alcohol.
It's not.
It's really fizzy. I was like,
We
what?
would be sleeping. So she changes his sign, and wait. So she leaves, and a bunch of people come home. A bunch of people like come by and are like throwing change at him, and well, not like aggressively.
That's exactly what the comment I was gonna make, but I was like, no, that's so stupid.
Giving him very graciously some change, and the blind man like stops somebody and it says like, hey, what is written on my sign? Like I don't even know what's written.
Yeah.
And he reads it back to him, and instead of it saying like, help me please, I can't see, his sign says, it's a beautiful day. Too bad I can't see it.
Beautiful. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've heard of this.
They use it in like marketing like strategy, like to make people realize like that it's all about feeling.
Wording and feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
And all that stuff. Okay.
But it really is like the case of it, and it's just, yeah, it's something we take for granted because we don't realize it.
Seeing, that is.
Yeah, being, well, yeah.
Right, and like, one of my other, apparently I just have a lot of fears.
Oh boy. Wow.
Wow, go figure. It's like literally going blind.
Really?
I don't know what I would be like, no, I don't like the dark. And that's all I could see? Like,
I don't think you see darkness.
I don't know what you see when you're like actually blind.
I would guess you could still see like light or like shadow maybe. I
don't know.
I'm saying this with no concept of truth. Anybody out there, if you listen to us,
my mom's uncle is blind.
Really?
Like, he can get around and like do things.
Well, I mean, they also.
I mean, it's
have
not like
lot.
I'm not saying that like they can't. I'm just like, so I guess like
You have to crazy develop your like physical presence and kinesthetic awareness,
right,
as a blind person.
And it's just crazy to me that he literally goes on like, he like goes to the mall himself and like does things himself.
Wow, that's amazing.
Right, like when my grandma died and he went to the funeral, he came there by himself. Like his kids weren't there yet. Like, and he just got on like, you know, the tricycle regime. You guys know about that in the Philippines, and just like came over by himself. And I was like, how do you do that? I was like, that's crazy.
You lose your sight, but you develop a different type of sight.
Right, because like how do you know what stuff to get off?
That's what it is. You lose your physical vision, but you develop a different type of sight.
That's true. Okay. Word. Look at you. All right, I'm slowly waking up. All right.
Here we go. Okay.
We're getting there.
Okay, so talking about like vision, I was thinking like we'd only have the we'd only have like the ability to have vision physically, and this is a good segue. I guess it was a solid segue. Like you have the ability to have vision like mentally,
like
like in your mentality,
right.
And like if you stay super focused, so if you're super nearsighted, right?
Yeah.
In your mental vision.
Yeah.
And like I know, like I'm saying this from like personal experience. If you get super caught up in like what's right in front of you and what you're capable of seeing,
you're gonna lose
then
yourself.
yeah, like you lose like a long vision. You lose the ability to see into like the future and have like vision for yourself.
Plan or like
Yeah.
you know, the people around you even.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know for myself, I would have a tendency, and I still have to catch myself when I do it. And text messages are the worst.
What are you doing?
I do with this. So like sometimes you'll get a text message. Okay, so I work with clients, right?
Right.
And I'll be doing other things throughout the day, and sometimes I'll get a text message from a client that if it's like a change of schedule or something's going on, and like I can get so like it literally like pulls my vision like back from whatever it is I'm doing, or like whatever it is that I'm like have my long vision in, and I get super focused on what's going on in the moment.
Yeah.
And then I like sometimes, and like it doesn't have to just be my clients, but if like somebody sends me a text and it's something that like stirs an emotion, or like makes me feel something, you get like so caught up in that moment.
Yeah.
And then like it overwhelms you, and you like
it gives you
get stuck there. It potentially gives you anxiety, and you get stuck there instead of like doing what you were doing. And like taking your vision longer.
Absolutely.
It like kind of snaps it back into you.
I get like that when I get texts like when I'm working from like anyone. Like honestly, like I have to have a habit of like putting my phone like face down. Like now, especially during busy season, because I can't. Like I have a notification on here right now. Like usually if I was at work, I would literally look at the notification. If it's from Instagram, I'm on there. If it's like a text, like I'll have a full on conversation and I'll be like, oh crap, I just wasted like 5 or 10 minutes. And you're like, oh shit. That's fine.
Technology is like the worst though.
Yeah, because it's so like instant and like just like right in your face that sometimes you forget.
But
so
I feel
just
like
take
it
a step
also
back.
like I feel like it also relates to I'm reading my notes about what I wrote that day.
Oh good.
Yeah, okay, so I also feel like we don't okay, I feel like this. So I felt like I was getting so caught up in what was going on, like in real life.
Yeah.
Gonna be 30 soon.
Why would you say
because I feel like the more that I say it, the more I'm gonna be prepared to cope with it, and the less it'll be like a surprise.
You have a few years.
Right, but if you're talking like averages,
we're closer to 30 than 20 now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I felt like, especially in like the beginning of the 20s, and this could possibly be like us talking about the Defining the Decades book. Maybe that'll be our next episode, like what the 20s really were.
That book came at a really good time in my life.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten it sooner, but I can't say that because I
can't say that.
I probably wouldn't have been able to deal with
can't process it.
Then. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to deal with it then.
Yeah.
But like, having that ability to have long vision
Yeah.
through this time of our life, like this decade of our life. Because if I think about how 5 years ago, I had such short vision. I had such, like, instant gratification. I had so much time. I was
Life
never,
is long.
I never felt like that financially. I always felt like very stringent financially about like what choices I made financially, and I know there are a lot of people out there who don't feel that way,
God bless
or
you.
maybe don't have like a sight for that, and maybe that will be a whole episode too.
Good for them, right? But also I'm very jealous.
Yeah. Okay. For the people who can do it and like can actually do it well and actually take care of them for the future, that's amazing. Yeah. Seriously jealous. That's amazing. Teach us what you do. But for the people who I see who like very frivolously spend their money and they don't have any thought about the future, I have like a heart of like
I'm anxious for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Or like thinking that a credit card is like having
an extra.
Oh God. Right. Yeah. Okay. So like, but okay. So and it's not to say anybody's doing anything wrong. Like you live your life. But the biggest like shift for me was to realize like, okay, like when do you actually turn that, like if you're looking through your binoculars, right? When do you start to turn that little
thingy?
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what the hell it's called. The thingy. The focus lens thingy.
Yeah, okay, like the little focus knob, right? And like widen and lengthen your focus out.
We know so many things about the world.
To see. I mean, there are like very basic things that I really don't know, so this is amazing. I remember, when was the last time you used a set of binoculars? Talking about vision, like it's zoom on your camera is your binoculars these days. You don't use binoculars.
Right.
So I wouldn't even know what to. Anyway.
Anywho.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like.
About binoculars. I can't say it. See?
But like I lacked 100% the ability to have a vision in terms of like I knew what I wanted for my life, but
you knew your general trajectory.
Yeah.
Right.
Essentially, and I knew like what intentions and purposes I wanted to serve.
Right.
But I didn't know how to be. First of all, I didn't know how to have like mental, emotional vision for myself. Like how to first be able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and who does? Like you're not supposed to. It's fine. Like that's the whole point of going through that.
Yeah.
But being able to look at myself and say, like first be able to really reflect on that, and then be able to say like, okay, you aren't an emotionally stable person.
Okay, word.
And like you haven't, that's just not how you were programmed, and like you have to address that because if you want to be the person, if you want to reach the goals and have the vision that you want for your life, it's not about those things coming to you. That's not what vision isn't. Something like you don't see that and have a vision for something and it comes to you. Like you have to go towards it, and the only way that I'm going to go towards it is if I change myself, if I grow myself. Right, and that has to come in like a bunch of different aspects, like phically, mentally, emotionally.
It just comes with age.
Yeah, it does. And it's okay to not have it all figured out, but it's journey. It's the matter of.
It's so funny, but it's like really true though.
Yeah, but it's the matter of like when everyone experiences it at a different point, and like I'm having mine like now in the last year, 26, 27.
Yeah.
And it's like
mid-20s is life changing.
Right.
25, 26.
Yeah, and it's like when do we actively say it's time to stop straining ourselves in the present and really start developing a vision for the future so we're working towards it? Because I feel like I got so strained and I started to deal with all of this stuff. I mean, it was a long time coming, but I got so strained because I was so focused on the present and like
avoiding everything else.
Yeah, like not only avoiding but like overwhelming myself and being so just like
you're distracting yourself to the point where you got super overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then you had to backtrack and be like, all right, let's just fix this.
So
now.
what was going on that led me here? Why do I feel this way? I like look back at it a little bit and then be like, okay, what do I need to do differently?
Yeah.
Because and it comes from that instant gratification and that the desire to not be patient.
Sorry.
And like what?
You said gratification wrong, I think.
Did I? Yeah, sorry. I kind of felt it from the last time out. I feel like I'm having a stroke.
Do you need an energy drink? Even you gave this to me, you just sip?
I feel like
I'm waking up.
Stroke.
This is really great. What is this?
Oh, we can. Oh, it's
Not sponsored.
And not sponsored. We'll talk about it later.
It's really good.
Good. I'm
and
glad.
I don't like energy drinks really.
I know. Oh, it's so.
Here, take a sip maybe.
No, it's okay.
Do you have, is that tea or something?
No. It's
No,
fine. It's fine. I'm awake because of this. I also. You know what? I talk too quickly when I get excited.
You get really like.
And
Very
then I
passionate.
can't. And then the words come out through my brain and have to get to my mouth really quickly, and my mouth cannot keep up with it. It's just how it's fine. It's how it works.
Just a dick. Like every time.
Okay.
And like I
You should have heard me at the rehearsal I was at this morning. I feel like I definitely need to get somebody to record me when I'm talking to children. Like
oh,
someone,
right now. This is
no,
what we're doing.
well,
This is
yeah,
an
but
exercise.
like someone needs to record me at the instructions that I give to
Children.
because like the high school kids today, like there were moments that I really hope that I say some good stuff, but there are moments when like I need to go say something and just something completely different comes out of my mouth, and then I have a moment where I have to just blah blah
Yeah.
blah 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 and then start again.
Oh my
And like
god.
my kids get just so thank God they're so sweet. Like they get so I had the best moment today. So wait, let me tell you what happened.
Yes,
So
I love
we're
this.
walking out of this has nothing to do with our. It's fine. We talked about our topic.
It's fine.
We'll come back to it.
We'll circle back. It's fine.
I was walking like out of. We were having a break in rehearsal. And I was walking out to the water fountain,
Yeah.
and there's like a student who's in the show who never done shows before,
Okay, cool.
and just
More power.
awesome, so awesome. And I was like, "You were doing a great job. I'm so proud of you."
Look at you.
And his response to me, which literally made me just go, "What just happened?" His response to me was like, "Thank you. That means so much. You're such an awesome teacher, Miss Cohen. But really though, like I have a lot of fear of you, but just enough that I still really like you." And I was like, great." 'Cause
That's a lot.
I was like, I looked at him and I was like, you know what? That's actually exactly where I want to be.
In that spot, right?
You
To
know?
be a little bit afraid of me, but also like.
Like, be afraid of what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
but also feel like you can relate to me and you like me. I feel
Right.
like that's a steady.
That's pretty.
Especially as a teacher, like this could be a whole other conversation to being a teacher. I don't know how did we get to all of that?
Hold on. See, now I'm getting distracted. Okay, now I'm back.
I went backwards. Oh, all of me not being able to speak properly is how this all happens. It's fine. I'm fully aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a personality trait of yours since forever.
Mhm.
I get that.
I am not. I said to somebody that I worked with last night.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't ever try to. I don't ever try to come off as like the super serious professional person because it's just not me.
That's just not you.
It's just not me.
No.
Like I know
Yeah.
when it's appropriate to like have that, but like I can't.
But like you normally.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
pretend to be something I'm not, and I can't be this like super serious.
You're not.
I just can't. And like
Yeah.
I can talk about things that are serious
Yeah, yeah.
and it not be an issue, but I cannot be like. I just can't.
That's fair. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So be ready for me to fumble over my words a lot.
It's been 4 episodes, I think. Yeah. We have enough
And
footage.
yeah, if you don't know that by now, like,
What are we doing?
yeah, you don't know us at all. It's fine.
Okay. So vision. Yo, we are so sleepy today.
Yeah, it's rough. You can
It's
tell
a
this
rough-
weather has
it's a
been rough.
time. I also don't like the cold. So like this is a rough time of year for me.
I got made fun of yesterday because I had on
3 scarves.
a tank top, and now you know why I wear scarves. If you
I
don't know why I
love
wear
that
scarves,
store.
Scarves.
Scarves.
I'm definitely having a stroke.
Don't say that. I don't know what I would do.
I'm not having a stroke. Oh my god, that's not even a funny thing. But sometimes I just feel like
Stop it.
there is no other explanation for it.
Do you need anything?
No, I'm okay. I'm gonna cry a little bit, but I'm okay.
Snarfs.
If you don't know,
Good
I'm
lord,
gonna
woman.
snort, and then that's gonna be a whole other conversation. Oh my god. Okay. If you don't
Sorry.
know why I wear scarves,
There we go.
I'm
we got
literally
there.
crying right now. If you don't know why I wear scarves, go check it out.
She's literally crying right now. Episode 2. which is out by the time, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, which has been out actually.
But yeah, I had on a tank top,
Uh-huh.
a sweater, a zip-up sweater, and like my giant burnt marshmallow jacket.
Yeah. Still crying.
I really needed that though. That was wonderful. And I walked in like someone's house and all of that, and they were like, "Wow, you really don't don't like the cold. And I was like, no, I do not play games.
Absolutely.
I hate the cold. I do not play games.
No. It's
Oh,
just
man.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So is the extreme heat.
Oh, yeah.
Spring weather.
True.
Spring
And
fall
fall are
weather.
the best.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. Oh, man.
I got really
crying.
Really, like
that
crying,
was
yeah.
amazing.
That-
Now whenever I think of the word snarf, like, it's
Snarf.
not a word, but like, whenever that comes to my mind, I'm gonna laugh out loud. And I'm gonna be that crazy person who is like walking by themselves or doing something by
Snarf.
themselves and thinks of that and just starts laughing.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. So, what
else do you want to talk about?
I feel like it's just the question of like, you know, set aside some time for yourself to be able to say, you know,
where am I
what,
going with life?
what vision do I have for myself?
Absolutely.
And
I think that's the like end all be all to like this conversation is like maybe have a plan for what you want with your life, because I feel like a lot of people don't.
You don't have to have
And they not like I'm not saying
a
like
trajectory.
Solid, yeah, exactly. Like,
know where you want to go.
Like the path that you want to go, because I feel like you get super into like today and maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then after that, like
Where are you going?
right.
And I feel like they do so many studies for like elderly people, and they ask them, you know, what if you could go back, or what are your biggest regrets? And they say like not doing the things that I wanted to do, and like not dreaming bigger, and not, you know, and it's like have big dreams.
Yeah.
Go
okay to
after
fail.
something. Yeah, we should have a whole episode on failure.
Failure?
Guys, did you hear all of the mispronunciations I did today? Like, it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
And like, you just have to go. We kind of talked about that last time, right? With like going out there and doing something, even if it feels messy, doing it anyway.
Right.
It's okay to fail, but you have to know what you're working towards, because you'd rather fail forward towards something that you're working towards.
Yeah.
That's
That sounds weird to me, but like I know.
Like that's a term that I heard, and I was like,
Fail forward?
I love that.
Fail forward.
Fail forward instead of failing like off.
Right, and then having that discourage you.
Yeah, and then never reaching that vision. And you have to have a vision for something. And maybe it's not extremely explicit and really detailed and saying like, I want to be your, I want to have, I want to whatever.
Yeah.
But you can say like, I always knew that I wanted to do something that allowed me to connect with people.
And then do something towards that goal.
Yeah, and like always have like I have like 3 different things that I work on for myself when I like have to, which I've recently done for myself, which changed everything. Which saying like I have 3 things that have to serve like my vision. So like what are 3 things that you want for your life that you want every choice that you make to serve us? And if they're not, then it's not a choice for you.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. So what's that vision for yourself? And you know, if you do have eye problems too, shout out, because we're with you.
Because we're in the same community.
Yeah, and let's talk about, you know, how do you handle dealing with your, like, managing your vision issues, and then also, like, addressing your life vision.
Right. There's 10 seconds left on this.
Okay, thanks for watching and listening to this episode.
Okay.
We will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
And I'll stop crying.
Oh my god.